By popular demand, I want to share with you the top 10 cryptocurrencies that I am buying in August in anticipation of what I think is going to be a decent run for altcoins throughout the remainder of this year. I do want to emphasize some things. I am going more towards the direction of safety for these particular picks. There may be a time later in this year when I'll go high risk, but right now I'm choosing safety. And then the other thing I want to say is the focus right now, for me at least, is large caps with utility. I think we've swung too far on the extreme of thinking utility is dead, and I think it will have a comeback. There will be a time when I'm going to be very focused on meme coins. But right at this moment, I like utility as a safer play, as a play that's stronger returns, maybe stronger returns short term, but meme coins are definitely going to have their day again. And before we dive on into this, be sure to hit the follow button, hit the save button for future reference. The first crypto on this list is Ethereum, and I know, okay, hear me out on Ethereum. I know a lot of you are thinking you want more X's of returns. I think this is a good starting point, and let me make a case for Ethereum. Ethereum hit its yearly open price on this massive liquidation wick that came on Monday because of all those Japan fears. The fact that it hit its yearly open is huge. The fact that Ethereum is currently this close to its yearly open means that this is an incredible value position, and I just think the risk to reward is very much in your favor if you buy this hoping for modest gains. And I do think that Ethereum will put in a new all-time high in 2024. And also, we had that post ETF launch sell-off. Grayscale has already sold off 25% of their Ethereum holdings, and we are nearing this point when the ETF holdings will turn net positive. I think that's going to have more of an effect than some of you may be thinking, or than I've communicated at least. I'm not expecting the Ethereum ETFs to cause the same level of excitement as the Bitcoin ETFs did, but there's really something significant you got to understand about Ethereum's tokenomics. Because of the fact that Ethereum has a burning mechanism, the net gain from the total amount of Ethereum into circulation right now is only $160 million worth of Ethereum. If you compare that to Bitcoin, that's about 6 days worth of Bitcoin mined. So Ethereum is a lot less inflationary than Bitcoin. And you can see from these 2 days right here that the amount of Ethereum that these ETFs accumulated was almost as much as the amount of Ethereum that was brought into circulation over 2024 so far. And so as we see Ethereum turn net positive with the ETF flow, this could cause a supply shock. Okay, now that we've gotten by Ethereum, I promise you the other 9 are going to be much quicker than Ethereum, but let's go to numbers 2 and 3. There are categories for the rest of these cryptos, and the category for cryptos number 2 and 3 are cryptos that would benefit from an Ethereum pump. Those 2 cryptos that I have on this list at least are Pendle and Pepe. If you're a regular to this channel or my live streams, you hear me talk about Pendle all the time. I'm very bullish on Pendle. Recent price action doesn't change that, but I do want to point something out here. This pump from under $3 to over $7, that was around the time that we heard that the Ethereum ETFs were going to get approved. There are several cryptocurrencies that had this kind of a pump. Pendle was one of them. And here's Pepe, same deal, Ethereum ETF, we're hearing rumors that it's going to get approved, and then Pepe shoots off like crazy. So if Ethereum does put in a new all-time high, it goes to $5,000 or $6,000 in 2024, which I think it's in play, then Pendle and Pepe I think are going to outperform them. They are a little higher risk than Ethereum, so I like having all 3. The next category for cryptos 4 and 5 are cryptocurrencies that I think are just at an insane value right now. The first of those 2 cryptos is Polygon Matic, and then the second is Loopring. Polygon recently wicked to within a few pennies of its previous 2022 bear market bottom. That is insane to me. I refuse to lump Polygon in with the so-called dinosaur cryptos. I think Polygon has a future on the blockchain, and this kind of value is too much for me to pass up. Loopring, on the other hand, is very much a dinosaur crypto, but Loopring has a history of putting in higher highs during bull runs. In 2018, it peaked at a certain price. In 2021, it put in a higher high, and Loopring is right now below its bear market bottom. I would say that this is an insane value on this cryptocurrency. And I would expect over the next few months for Loopring to challenge its 2024 high, which is at about 50 cents. For my next two picks, I'm going to have a hard time explaining this. Let me just compare this to a couple of cryptocurrencies from 2021. In 2021, Solana was a big winner, but Solana leading up to May hit a certain peak, and then it lost 80% of its value from May to July, and then it went off and did a 13x and hit a new all-time high and was even more so one of the big winners. Cardano did something similar. It peaked at a certain price in the second quarter of 2021, went down in the summer, and then provided amazing returns in the fourth quarter of 2021. And so these two picks are cryptos that I think can do something similar, that have lost about 80% of their value, but I would say are very solid projects. Those two cryptocurrencies are ArcBlock and Sui. I really love what ArcBlock has done over the years. They've taken a long approach and they've built a really solid project. This was one of the big winners from earlier in this year. It seemed like it came out of nowhere because ArcBlock's been around for quite a long time. And then looking at the chart right here, obviously it's in a downtrend. This is exactly what happened with Solana and Cardano in 2021. And then you can see support at this 2.36 fib level here. I think that that's about the bottom, and we're going to see ArcBlock break this downtrend and move potentially even to new all-time highs. The Sui chart looks very similar, and it actually has just recently broken a downtrend, and so this one might be ready to rip as well. Now, Sui, I love Sui fundamentally. They do have not so great tokenomics to start out at least, and then it'll improve over time. But this is one, like I said, it broke the downtrend, so I think that this one can do very well. I don't know about new all-time highs. It's definitely within the realm of possibility. The next two cryptocurrencies are cryptos that I would say, despite the fact that altcoins have had this massive downtrend, these two have had really strong charts and they're holding up very well. I definitely want some exposure to cryptos that have held up very well, because I think that bodes well for what their future is going to look like over the remainder of this year. The first of those two cryptocurrencies is Kaspa. Kaspa has held up very well. It actually even recently put in a new all-time high right before the unemployment report last Friday and the liquidation wick because of Japan. You're going to have a hard time finding a stronger chart like this based on everything that's happened. This might actually be the strongest altcoin in all of crypto based off of all this price action here. The second one is Jasmy. While the rest of the market was crumbling, Jasmy just kept on going on a tear, hitting a new all-time high. Yes, it's down pretty significantly from that all-time high, but it's back within the range, a range that it reached in March. If you bought this at the peak in March, you're not nearly as far down on Jasmy as you are on a lot of other cryptos that you've lost 80+% on. I think this really bodes well for Jasmy's future over the remainder of this run. I think it's going to go much higher. I have a target for 2024 of around 8 cents for Jasmy. The last crypto that I'm going to talk about in this video is in its own category, and it's just the category is I like the crypto. I think it makes sense to continue buying this crypto. I'm very bullish on it, and that crypto is Ondo. If you want more information as to why I like Ondo, I would strongly recommend checking out this video, Ondo prediction for the 2024-2025 bull run, which I'm sorry to say I've now extended to 2026 because of economic stuff, but that's for another video. I've already talked about that a ton. So yes, I know there's a lot of other cryptos I could have put on this list. Some of you are going to ask, what about this crypto? What about that crypto? And you can make a case that there's plenty of other cryptos that maybe some of them are even more worthy than ones I put on this list. These are my choices. Just to recap: Ethereum, Pendle, Pepe, Polygon, Loopring, ArcBlock, Sui, Kaspa, Jasmy, and Ondo. And I'm going to edit this later, but I'm assuming you're able to see all the categories that I've put next to all of these names. This is where I'm landing for my top 10 for August, ahead of the rate cuts, and then we'll see about after that.